link in the description if you want to go pick one up. Don't worry if it breaks when it comes to your house. I'll send you another one for free out of my pocket. I don't care. I want you to get your liberal tear mug. It comes in liberal tears, white with the face, black with the face, white without the face, and black without the face. So pick whichever one you want, and it'll come to your door in about 3 to 5 days. So that should be epic. First link in the description. Thank you. Let's go on with the video.
Political contributor Maria Cardona, Karine Jean-Pierre, the senior advisor at MoveOn.org, and CNN political commentators Paris Denard and Andre Bauer. Welcome back, panel. Maria, you just heard Tom Foreman lay it out. Between the First Lady living in New York to weekends in Mar-a-Lago, the cost of protecting the First Family could be epic, but that has always been the responsibility of the Secret Service. So is there anything different now?
Well, there is a couple of things different here, Don. First of all, hypocrisy, which is nothing new when it comes to the Trump administration. He's full of hypocrisy day in and day out. He not only lambasted President Obama every time he would go on a trip, saying that it's taxpayer money, how shameful it is, that he doesn't spend enough time at the White House, that he's golfing every weekend. And in 2015, he gave an interview to The Hill where he said if he became president, he would rarely leave Washington, rarely leave the White House. So we now see that that is absolutely not true. The second thing I think that is a big issue, especially for Trump and his family, is the fact that he has 4 adult children that also need protection whenever they travel. And that's fine. Like you said, that is something that happens. It is what it is. We have to protect the First Family, all of it, including the adult children. But when the adult children are out on business trips, making deals, closing deals, and making themselves rich while taxpayers are paying for it, that is a completely different thing.
Let me bring the other panelists in here because we have short time. Andre, the Washington Post reports that the Secret Service hotel bill for Eric Trump's trip to South America last month was nearly $100,000. Both the President Trump's grown children heading to a golf course opening in Dubai this weekend. Any concern you think the Trump family's personal business and lifestyle costing taxpayers a lot of dough?
Well, you know I'm a fiscal conservative, and so yes, when I heard just a minute ago in your story that 300 people travel with the president, to me, no matter if it's a Republican or Democrat, that seems excessive to me, and somebody ought to look into ways to save money. I think the First Family needs to be protected no matter who it is, and we could argue, look, Bill Clinton bills the United States government to have Secret Service on his property, which to me seems a little bit crazy. It's legal, but he's the only person to ever do it. But you could go through all of them, of the trips they took, and maybe they shouldn't have taken some of these trips. But at the end of the day, we want the most powerful leader in the world protected. But can we do it in a more prudent and responsible way? Hopefully so, and hopefully somebody within this administration will look at it and say, here's where we can save some money, because at the end of the day, the taxpayers are footing an extremely large bill.
Yeah. Karine, you say this is hypocrisy?
I do. I think it's complete hypocrisy. Like Maria was saying, he chastised President Obama for going on vacation, for golfing, and President Obama had less vacation, fewer vacation days than his predecessor, President George W. Bush. I think for me, the thing that bothers me the most about this is the profiting off of the presidency. Mar-a-Lago, they doubled their initiation fee to $200,000, and also he actually never let go of ownership of his businesses. So his adult children are traveling, making money for the organization. So he's profiting.
I want to bring in Paris now. Sorry to cut you guys short, but I want to get it all in before we have to go. Paris, what do you think?
I think this is fake news. This is not a news story. Don,
tell me what about it is fake, Paris. We're going to go. Are we going down this road again?
Yeah, we are.
Come on, Paris.
I didn't interrupt any of you all. Let me just tell you why. The president is not breaking any laws, and he's not doing anything. It's not his fault.
Paris, hold on. Let me ask you this.
No.
Let me ask you. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish. Do you actually know what the definition of fake news is?
What we're doing right now?
No. Okay. Well, then you are part of the fake news because you are on the network and you're part of the.
No.
Fake news is when you. Hang on. Let me explain to people out there watching and you what fake news is. Fake news is when you put out a story to intentionally deceive someone and you know that it is wrong. I don't know of anyone who has put out a story in the mainstream media that I can think of right now to intentionally deceive anyone. Now, people get things wrong. Sources sometimes come up empty, but no one that I know has put out anything to intentionally deceive someone. This story that we're doing right now is not to intentionally deceive anyone. We are simply talking about the cost to keep a president safe, the Secret Service cost, and what are the pros and the cons, and as Andre said, and if there are ways that we can maybe able to work on that to make it fiscally better for the American people. There is nothing fake about that. Please stop it with that stupid talking point that it is a fake news story. If you don't want to participate in the news stories on this network, then don't come on and participate. But don't call them fake because you don't agree with them. Go on.
Don, this is a fake news story, in my opinion, because the underlying assumption
thank you very much, everyone.
that...
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Good night, all.
Thanks, Don.
So you made this short documentary. It was about immigrant crime in Sweden. Tucker Carlson interviewed you about the film, talking about how the Swedish public feels about the situation. Let's watch this.
They know that this crime is happening. They can feel it. The statistics are clear. But they would refer to what is the root cause behind it and say, oh, it's just more, it happens to be more violence. It's men who are raping people, not the refugees. They'll make excuses for it. The majority of the population in Sweden still want to have an open door policy. It's confounding.
So the president sees your interview, which means you influenced him, the president of the United States, to spread, which really amounts to false information, right? How do you feel about being part of that?
I mean, the whole thing is just surreal, right? I mean, it was a Saturday night, and I get a text from somebody, I think the president just referenced you, and then I went to it, and I said, I'm not sure exactly what he was talking about. Clearly, it seemed to be he was intimating this interview that we had with Tucker. So, yeah, it's absolutely, it's incredible, it's surreal. Yeah. It's unfortunate that he had the misstatement, but it's been all good for me.
Let's look at, here's what he said. Let's watch this.
We've got to keep our country safe. You look at what's happening in Germany. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible.
Okay, so let's talk about the numbers here.
Yeah.
Because we looked at the stats from the U.S. Department, the State Department. Here's what we learned, all right? Crime rose about 7% from 2012 to 2015. Much of that crime was nonviolent computer fraud and vandalism. In 2015, violent crime decreased slightly. There was no staggering increase. Where did you get your information, and did you look at the official numbers?
Yeah, from a far more accurate source, State Department. I don't know why the State Department is doing numbers for Sweden. I look at the Swedish, it's called BRA, B-R-A,
yeah, we have
which is the keeper of all stats for Sweden. Right. So if you look at what I call heavy crime, so I'm talking about murder, I'm talking about sexual assault. Sexual assault from 2006, 2015 is up almost 50%. Murder between 2012 and 2016 is up, I think, almost over 80%. Yeah. Now, so those are the real numbers.
Yeah, well, the real numbers, they don't show up almost 80%. I don't want to be rude, though, but are your ears and your eyes working? Because the numbers, as we're reading from BRA,
yeah,
right, and from the State Department, they don't show what you're saying. You're taking these numbers and you're manipulating them in the way that...
There's no manipulation.
They're right here.
The raw numbers are up.
That says BRA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me the...
But if you look at, even if you look at crime here in the United States, overall, for the past decade,
crime is down.
Crime is down.
Right.
There was a spike.
Rape is down.
There was a spike.
Murder's down.
In 1 year.
Non-Sweden.
Right. Over time.
Non-Sweden.
That's the same thing.
No.
But it's not skyrocketing.
That's totally wrong.
Okay, let's say that you're right.
Murder is
but there is no. But hold on. Okay. You're classifying this as a skyrocket. That crime is skyrocketing. Rape. Yeah. It's not a skyrocket.
So you think when rape is down in the United States and everywhere else in Western Europe, and then rape is up 50%, that's not skyrocketing?
Because of the way they classify rapes now.
Listen to me. The definition was before those numbers.
If you had not classified unwanted touching, if you're at a concert and someone touches you on any part of your body, that is now in Sweden classified as a rape.
And so it is,
it was
and
not
so it is
before.
in the United States. First of all, it's sexual assault, not rape.
But it's
not rape, it's sexual assault.
It's sexual assault in the United States.
No,
but
it's sexual assault.
It's sexual assault in the United States, but it's not sexual assault in Sweden.
Incorrect.
It is now under the rape
That's
clause.
not right. So we're mistaken about that. Okay. The definition of rape in the United States, I looked at the definition.
And we know what it is in the United States. We're not talking about the United States. We're talking about Sweden.
Listen to me. The definition of rape in the United States is the same, essentially, as the definition of rape in Sweden.
Now.
That's
no, not now. No, it's
now.
not. It's
no, you're
not.
wrong. Yes, it is.
it's a different. Well, I sort of agree with what Tom said. I don't know. I mean, it does look disturbing. The part that is most disturbing to me is seeing her throwing him around. As far as, and I've looked at it over and over again, as far as the desk going over, I don't know if the desk fell over because she didn't want to get up or if he pushed her over. I don't know. So I think there's context to everything. I would like to see what happened before, and I'd like to see what happened afterwards. But I do agree with everyone, including the commissioner and including Tom. It does look horrible. It does look like there's no excuse for what he's doing to her. But again, we don't know. As the commissioner said, this only shows a small slice in time of what happened. I'd like to know more before passing judgment.
Are you guys kidding me?
No, we're not kidding. We don't know what happened. You weren't sitting in the room, Sonny. You don't know if she wasn't standing up.
I don't need to know more. Let me tell you this.
You do need to know more. As a prosecutor, you should want to know more. Yes, you should.
The law provides, Don, that the standard here is whether or not whether the officer has to use this type of force, whether it's reasonable and necessary.
But how do you know without all the information as a trained professional? How do you know without all the information, Sonny?
Don, this is a young girl. This is a girl in
I agree
school.
with you on that. That's
no
right, but you don't know what precipitated
that kind of. I don't need to know. We see what happens.
Yes, you do
Whether
need to
or not
know.
that force
All right, hold on, guys.
is justifiable is the issue, and the force is not justifiable.
Sonny, hold on for a second.
She is sitting there. She is not resisting. She is sitting there in a chair. That is
you don't know if she wasn't resisting.
Hold on one second. We've got some other
assault.
video. Sonny, Don, Tom, this is from a different angle, some other video that has just come in. Let's show it to our viewers.
The people want to know what crazy, silly.
Let me ask. Kathy, I think Kathy Anderson might steer me wrong. Kathy, what should I do?
Nipple, 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 nipple.
No, Don.
I love you, Kathy.
No.
I love you.
You don't want to hear my other
I love you too, but really don't need to see what's about to happen here.
No, Don.
I love you, Don. No, keep it close.
All right.
Keep it close.
All right.
I love you more, Don.
So listen.
This is seriously about to happen.
Don't get blood on my jacket.
Do you need to hold my hand?
Yeah.
Oh,
if this hurts, I'm gonna be
Lord.
so
Is your
mad.
mother watching?
Yeah.
I bet your mom is.
Oh,
Mama Lemon. I don't know what he's thinking.
All right, hold on.
At least it's just his ear. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go, bro.
Here we go. Oh, God. Oh.
Don't get blood on the jacket. It has to go back. It goes back to Brooks Brothers.
Here we go. Here's the needle. Here's the needle. Oh.
Ow!
Oh, the whole crowd. Oh. The whole crowd's like, what is going on?
But you said he's not an anti-Semite. Is he a white nationalist? My question, a white nationalist, a misogynist, or even bigoted in any way that you know of?
Not at all. Steve Bannon does not have a bone of prejudice in his body. And in fact, Steve Bannon went out of his way at Breitbart to look for talent among non-traditional conservatives, just like Andrew Breitbart had championed the cause of black conservatives, Latino conservatives, women conservatives. Steve Bannon did the same thing, and he brought people on board. You know, I see Kurt there on television. He's an Asian American conservative. Here we are, an Asian American conservative, an Orthodox Jewish conservative, both of whom worked for Steve Bannon. And the question is whether he's a white nationalist. I think not.
Well, then why traffic in that if he's not? Is that even more insidious if he's not, but then he traffics in it?
Can you name for me, Don, one white nationalist article at Breitbart? Just one.
Well,
I saw that whole build-up segment. I didn't see a single white nationalist article. Not one.
There's.
But to imply that anyone can walk out and buy an automatic weapon is just not true, Don.
What do you mean anyone can't? Well, listen, during the theater shooting in Colorado, I was able to go and buy an automatic weapon, and I, maybe have shot a gun 3-4 times in my life. I don't even live in Colorado. I think most people can go out and buy an automatic weapon.
Don, what is your definition of an automatic weapon? What is your definition of an automatic weapon?
Well, for me, an automatic weapon is something that you can shoot off a number of rounds very quickly. I was able to buy an AR-15 within 20 minutes in a state of which that I'm not a.
You don't know, in all due respect, you don't know what you're talking about. An automatic weapon is when you pull the trigger one time and it continually shoots off. one after another after another. A semi-automatic weapon.
I can do that with my AR-15. You're getting into semantics here, because
it's not semantics.
Hang
one
on,
is
Ben.
automatic.
Let me finish.
One is semi-automatic.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's the difference between breaking the law and not breaking the law.
I want to know, with all of the black-on-black violence in the United States of America, by the way, when the tragedies happened in Louisiana and Minnesota, do you know that 21 black people were murdered across the United States? Was there any reporting on that?
There was a black officer who was killed today. But
was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep the volume down here. So I understand, and listen, I'm
looking at 3 dead cops this week, Sheriff, and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
Just please, if you'll just please, we can keep it civil. So, because the message to people at home, I'm sure you want, is one of civility.
I wish, Don, I wish you had that message of civility
have a conversation
toward this hateful ideology, these purveyors of hate.
You don't know what my message is.
That's
what I want
they
to say
do.
to you is,
these people preach vile and virtue in the name of hate.
I don't know right now, as someone who's in law enforcement, if that was the actual cause of it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Do we know that generally the American law enforcement officers are racist? Do we know this?
Go on.
I asked a question.
Do I know American general law enforcement are racist? I don't think anyone is accusing. If you're insinuating that people are accusing or saying that law enforcement across this country as a whole are racist, then your assumption is wrong.
First of all, this whole
no. The president spoke about it. Cedric Alexander, who is a law enforcement officer.
The president has been lying about it. He's condemned the anti-police rhetoric coming from this hateful ideology.
As a journalist sitting here on television, I don't have to condemn anyone, anything. That is something that you should ask other people around the country.
I condemn
their jobs to condemn
just like I condemn the hateful ideology out of groups like the KKK. All right? I condemn it. There is no place in American discourse for that sort of vile, vitriolic hate coming out of this ideology. This has fueled and fanned the flames of this anger toward the American police officer. There's only one group in America, one time, that truly cares about the lives of black people in these urban ghettos. And it's the American police officer who goes down there on a daily basis, puts their life on the line to protect who? Black people. So when you say we just want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation about the black-on-black crime, which kills more black males, which is more of a threat to any black male in the United States than a law enforcement officer.
Sure.
Fine. That's going to mean more arrests. That's going to mean more people going to prison. This stuff has already been debunked.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. Hey, I'm just stopping by to remind you that liberals are insane. Social justice warriors are becoming more violent and triggered than ever before. Anyways, be sure to subscribe to KGP TV on YouTube and have a blessed day. Yeah, man.